Well, as we know, the wait is finally over. Australia's international border is back open as of this morning. It's been 2 long years since we've welcomed tourists. More than 50 flights due to land in Australia this morning. But how many of them are actually tourists here to spend money? Joining me live now is the CEO of Flight Centre, Graham Turner. A question that no doubt has been weighing on your mind as well, Graham. So what do we think? Are we seeing just still returning Aussies, or the tourists starting to come as of today?
It's a good question, because there will be quite a few of these people are actually, people who are coming, who are still close relatives in Australia, coming back to see their relatives and friends. But I think as time goes on, in the next month or two, there'll be more and more tourists. Generally, initially, it'll be people who know people in Australia who are coming to visit them as well as do touring, and also a lot of business people are coming because foreign business people have been kept out of Australia basically for the last 2 years, the same way as foreign tourists. So, they need to get back in and talk to their people, their branch offices in Australia. So it's a combination of people. I think the pure tourists, particularly from the UK, Europe, North America, probably will take a few months to plan their holidays, because most of them go to 2 or 3 states when they come out here, and it does take a fair bit of planning.
Indeed. Well, for the last 2 years, many of your staff have just been issuing refunds, so it must be nice to start booking those holidays once again. Once you saw this announcement about a month ago that the international border would reopen, what happened to bookings? Were people, using those credits? Are they waiting? Are they waiting perhaps till next summer?
Yeah, well, Sydney for Australians, New South Wales and Victoria did open, I think, late November. So we've seen increasing numbers of Australians travelling and returning. So this just is the cream on the cake, I think, that now we can get international tourists coming from all over the place. And we've certainly, we operate out of 26 countries. And in all those countries, we're starting to see, particularly Northern Europe and UK and the US, we're seeing a lot of bookings. And obviously, the Omicron came in late November. That really didn't help in December and January. So again, there were more cancellations for a while than bookings. But February is coming back quite strongly. But not only in Australia, but in our overseas countries as well. So, February is looking pretty good, but March and April are looking even better. So we're really back on the road to significant growth in inbound and outbound travel from Australia.
WA's got to be holding you back a bit. I know they're going to open the domestic border in the beginning of March, but would you like to see those Qantas travel routes be rerouted through the Northern Territory rather than Perth, given the disruption that we've seen?
Well, lucky that's a job for Alan Joyce, but I think Darwin's been reasonably successful, but I do think Qantas does want to go back to Perth when it opens up. I'm not sure what the date is. And, obviously Perth's a city of well over a million people, where Darwin's 150,000. So they may continue through Darwin if they have the if they have the planes, but I'm pretty sure they'll go back to Perth when it looks safe to do so. And I think, from what I hear, they are opening the international borders to international foreign passport holders on March 3rd. They just have to be triple vaccinated. And there's probably some other conditions, but we're pretty confident WA will come back fairly strongly, pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, we hope so. Graham, before I let you go, of course, with the opening of international borders, but for a couple of months, actually, Australians have been able to leave and go for holidays overseas. So how's that distorting the market? Have you seen a lot of Aussies opt to go overseas for the first time in 2 years rather than holiday locally?
Look, it's going to happen. The pent-up demand is going to be quite large. Most people in the last couple of years have holiday domestically, which has been fine. and it's good in some parts of the domestic market. But, I think Australians will travel overseas just as our overseas tourists will come into Australia. So it is Australians are well renowned as international travellers. That's not going to change overnight. And we're probably going to see more outbound than holidaying locally. But I think we're used to that. And as confidence grows back into Australia as an international destination, we'll get our fair share of tourists, I believe, as well.
Yeah, we've got pretty good natural assets, so that's got to be one good thing. Thanks so much, Graham. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for the...
Appreciate it.